What's up, guys? It's your boys Wolkie back with more of the rabbit hole. The deeper the depths of this case keep dwindling into despair. And we're looking more into pretty much not replicating, but slowly or not, how do I want to say this? There are people that still, I have no idea, that think that Nicole, literally, I read like 4 or 5 messages last night. They're like, leave Nicole alone. She deserves to be at peace and happiness. She wasn't involved. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. Okay. So we are going to look at more of Nichol Kessinger's body language or from off of Chris Watts' body language that we already knew right off the hand that he was lying, he was fibbing, he was all the above. Cross the T's, dot the I's, put that man in prison. But yet, Nicole is still out there enjoying life. Now we're going to be taking a look at a YouTube channel. This guy is a psychologist, a pretty much human lie detector that looks into everything that Chris does. That pretty much red flag, red flag, red flag, red flag, red flag. We're going to compare that to Nicole's red flag, red flag, red flag, and more red flags. Now, also, I want to reiterate how much looking at Chris's interrogation, his interviews, his all the above, by the book, those 2 investigators, or I should say detectives, that drilled this man within the 5 to 6 hours that he was there, got him to confess. Fantastic. But what the BS bullcrap was the interrogation and detectives that were with Nichol Kessinger, pretty much, I state myself, dropped the ball. Why was she not lie detector, or why was she not hooked up to a lie detector test? Why was she not questioned without her father? Why was she not questioned thoroughly to the point where she was the one that was controlling that interview, where Chris was not controlling the interview, the detectives were. In Nicole's case, she was running the interview. So, with all that being said, grab a chair, get ready for more into the Chris Watts case. And also, before we go any further, make sure you guys are subscribed for all the content that I have on here, which is crime talk, paranormal, all things nerdy. You can find a lot on this channel. Make sure you guys take a look at it, but subscribe. We're on our way. We just hit 30,000 subscribers, and it's because of all you guys at home. We're trying to get to 50K so I can give you one of you guys a MetaQuest virtual reality headset. It's super easy to use. Anybody can use it. You can use it for games, movies, TV shows. Again, you can use all ages, all genders, whatever have you. It's fantastic. So I have the MetaQuest normal, but we're trying to get to 50K so I can give one of you guys one of those away. And then we're trying to get to 100K so I can give 2 more of them away. I want to give you guys that stuff. So make sure you guys subscribe, comment, like, and share. Keep it positive. We want to keep it positive for everybody that has their opinions, that has their theories, and so forth like that. We want to keep it G and positive, and not to be bullying anybody in the comments down below. Now, I've been watching the interrogation polygraphic test, which is a 3-hour video, ridiculous video, that I just keep watching over and over and over just to watch his mannerisms, his body language, and so forth. But then I came across a YouTube channel called Dr. G Explains. Fantastic guy, looks like awesome. I watched like 10 seconds of it. I was like, I need to watch this. So looking into it even more, comparing that with Nicole, I'm more than even 100% sure now that Nicole was involved. 100%. I have no ifs, ands, or buts anymore. Nicole was involved. Signed, sealed, delivered. Put a stamp on it. Yeah, it's happening. We're also going to be taking a look at, which was a few years ago, okay? But this was a 2020 update. We're in 2023. I'm continuing this case because I would like to see something happen as a resolve out of this, which is Nichol Kessinger interrogated properly, investigated properly, talked to properly by the book, the justice system book, not her delegating the interview, her dad being in there. She needs to be talked to. Hell, go to Chris in Wisconsin, hook him up to a lie detector test again, and ask him, was Nichol there? Was Nichol with you? Did she take the girls? Did she help you? How hard is that? You're not infringing on his rights. What does he need a lawyer for? He's already incarcerated. I'm just saying. She also states she has, without a doubt, agreed that Nichol Kessinger was involved. And she said this 3 years ago. How many people, like when it first happened, I remember I was playing Fortnite at the time. And literally, this came across my news TV broadcast that Chris Watts was found to be the one that committed this murder. And I was like, you know what? With the whole mistress thing, I guarantee she did it. I guarantee she was involved. And now, 5 years later, almost 6, and I still, to this date, think that she was involved. So, first of all, we're going to take a look at is this female called It's a Crime. Go over to their channel, give her some love, watch her stuff, old stuff, new stuff, whatever have you. Give her some love. This is her content. I, again, specify I am not taking her content and using it as my own. I'm using it as evidence to compare with my own opinions and theories and the thousands of people that are watching my channel and all the other ones. I am not taking her credit. I am not taking her video and stating it of my own. I'm making that very clear. I'm doing this for educational purposes. So with that being said, let's get in the video.
Was someone else there on the morning of August 13th,
Yes.
2018 at Chris Watts' house in Frederick, Colorado at 2825 Saratoga Trail? And what you will see in this video will answer that question. I am floored. I don't know how this hasn't been looked at or
I hear you, girl.
I don't know why everything is such a secret, but Chris Watts, this secret is coming out. For those of you who are new to my channel, I am a new channel. I'm Linda with It's a Crime, and please hit that subscribe.
Linda? She's a new channel? She's at 224,000 subscribers. Bravo. Bravo, girl. At 2.8 million views on this video. So, let's continue.
Subscribe button, hit that notification bell, hit the share button because you're going to want to share this one, and hit the like button. That actually, by doing the like button, gives YouTube what it needs in its algorithm to say, hey, this is important, or people like it, and then they actually push this video out. And this is the video definitely to do it on.
We want this case to go viral so that the justice people, the public defender goes, you know what? These YouTubers, these people that are talking about this, they are making such a great point. Let's look into her. Just saying, that's what I'm hoping, finger crossed, we'll see one day.
So I've been following the Chris Watts case for almost 2 years. Who hasn't? And
Amen.
I read the discovery twice before, which is 1,960 pages, and I just dove in again on the weekend on this. So now it's been 3 times, and I can't not say...
Again, 2,000 pages of court documents and papers. I've literally been reading also the new book. I can't remember her name because I'm actually talking with her as we speak. The Cheryl lady that just wrote the new book. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll be having a Zoom call with her. But like just everything that she talks about when she talks about her communication with Chris. It's just, he wants to say it, but he's not saying it. He's even stated he's going to take things to his grave, and he's implied it has to do with Nichol as well. So I don't know what more people want, that they're like, oh, she's innocent, leave her alone. We're bringing you the facts. Can you not see this? How is this not giving you a light bulb? Ding, that she was involved. Let's continue.
Say anything, and I'm asking for your help, so please be sure to stay to the end. I'm going to keep it as concise as possible. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through August 13th from the time Shanann came home, which was 1:48 a.m. in the morning, which would be the Sunday night. And I'm going to walk you through to when he leaves the drive.
Which I do want to add. And again, there's people that keep stating, stopping the video, but you guys don't want me to talk. So, the night before, Saturday, Chris goes out with Nichol, hires a babysitter, which we've already taken a look at, goes out, uses said card at a restaurant, flags Shanann's interest. Why is he spending $67 on just himself? She knew that he was with somebody else. So when she comes home the next night, where she takes her bag, leaves it at the front door next to the blue bag that Nichol Kessinger stuff was in, because it was confirmed that there was female garments inside there. Who else would have female garments in there besides Shanann? Nichol. So, where am I leaving off here? So, all this happened before the murders. So the next night when Shanann came home, that's when she was like, okay, what's happening? Who's this other person? Pretty much called Chris on his BS. But then there's also the theories that Nichol was even at the house that night, and in the morning, she accidentally somehow used something on her phone, and that's when her phone pinged off the tower in Frederick, Colorado. You following? So I'm putting this web of on. I have literally a diagram that shows everything that I'm pulling off of Nichol that's added to Chris. That's all. I'm eventually gonna show you guys. So let's continue.
So let's get into it. This is Shanann at 1:48, walking up from the driveway to her door. Now, she's just getting dropped off by her friend from an event they were in Arizona. Shanann's flight got in late, and the Vivint camera is picking her up right at the edge of the grass and films until she gets inside. Notice that she also has her phone in her hand, and it seems to be on from the looks of it. And
they said that on that video on her phone, that you can see Bella's room, which I don't know if you can or not.
Films until she gets inside. Notice that she also has her phone in her hand, and it seems to be on from the looks of it, and we're not sure what it is. Maybe she's looking at her babies in there through the monitor. I don't know. However, we know she walks up the steps and then opens the door and goes inside. Now, it just so happens that I have a Vivint camera. Only mine is pointing from the side, so you can see the doorbells on the side, the doors here, doorbells on the side, and you can see somebody coming up the steps and then the landing. Because we found that if we pointed it a different way, it was picking up constantly cars going by, and you keep getting these notifications on your phone, basically ding, ding, visitor detected, visitor detected. So it was getting annoying, and we had to change it. Now, it looks like their drive is much longer than what mine is, so, but I do want to just make that point because there's a purpose.
Okay.
Now, the question is, where is the notifications that morning when Chris was walking out of the house?
I said the same thing.
Because it shows almost all the way down the
driveway.
Drive.
Exactly.
And I know his truck was parked over to the side, but the person walking out of that garage walked across. So I'll get to that in a minute, but keep that in mind. Now, I already kind of answered this question to myself about why wasn't there a Vivint recording, because in the discovery, he talked to Vivint twice, and he was talking to them, one for 25 minutes and one for another set of minutes. But I'm pretty sure he's probably trying to figure out how to either delete it or change the settings. So, and it's not hard to...
So he actually called the company. I did not know about that.
I could always do it in another video just to show you how that all goes down. So now we're gonna fast forward. So Shanann gets home at 1:48 a.m. and goes in the house. Now in the discovery, it says that Chris says he woke up at 4 a.m. that morning, stayed upstairs, brushed his teeth, got dressed, and got a drink. And then until 4:15, where Shanann and him had a chat about what's going on, and They talked about moving and lost connection, and he said allegedly that their talk was very calm and there was just a lot of crying and that kind of thing. It was very emotional, but it was calm. I'm not going to talk about his second confession in here because I want to get to basically to the nitty-gritty of what I found, but that's basically what he said was that morning. He didn't work out. He got up at 4 a.m., 4:15 they had the chat, and then he left. So he was also asked what a typical morning looks like. And he said at 4 a.m. he goes and works out until 5 a.m. on a typical morning.
Which he didn't.
He said he goes to the basement and he has a weight bench. He said then he gets some food, he makes some eggs and cottage cheese, something like that. And he says everyone's still sleeping at that point. He makes the girls milk, brings it upstairs. Bella's iffy on milk. He said he fills water bottles, and then he makes sure the backpacks have a change of clothes and a hat, and if it's a water day, make sure that they have their water shoes and sunscreen. Now, this would answer a couple things because people are like, did he actually plan on hurting those girls that morning? Well, I'm surprised that there was no question in the discovery. It says, well, were the backpacks ready that morning, or did they see that they were ready that morning? Because that was the first day of school back for the kids. And in fact, Shanann had said to him the day before, it was at 9:57 a.m. on August 12th.
The night that he came back from his date.
She texted and she said, can you get the girls' backpacks ready for tomorrow with blankies and spare clothes, please? If not, I can do it in the AM. And Watts said he would. Were their backpacks ready or not?
So this just implies that he wasn't planning on doing anything with the girls. But he said he was making plans about Shanann. Do you see where I'm coming from this? I don't know if you guys possibly know what I'm coming from this. But what it sounds like is he was going to take Shanann out of the picture, keep the girls, but then possibly somebody else intervened and caused this help. Just saying.
So now I'm going to take you to the infamous video of the driveway. What I'm going to do is show you the very beginning. I'm going to walk you through a little bit, and then I'm going to walk you through what I found.
Okay.
So in the video, you're going to see
too.
somebody walk out in the next 6 seconds. They're going to come out. You're going to see something highlighted. I don't know if it's...
Which he's wearing white shoes, jeans, and a black shirt.
It's a light or something popping up or something in between the tree.
Yep. Oh, I didn't see that.
And then as this person walks out, you'll see Chris's mirror lights. They're not his headlights, they're his mirror lights on. And you're going to see both of the lights blocked. And then one of the lights blocked.
So he went to the street to go get his truck. Because his truck was out in the street.
Then you're going to see this red car move out.
Which again,
Now,
everybody's trying to figure out.
Red car moves out. There's been a lot of debate whether that is at the gravel pad or it's at Betty's house. And I believe that it is at the gravel pad because it is in front of that tree. There's a tree on Betty's house, and I'll show you on Google Maps. There is a tree, and where Chris's car is parked is right close up, and then the car goes behind the truck and turns off left. I do my thumbnails a very specific way for this channel. And I'll show you just in a little example to show you the differences. I'll use Megan Firamuska as an example. You can see all my videos as well on her case. So I take her picture, her original picture, and I enhance it. And I do this on my thumbnails to get the same type of look. So I thought to myself, well, I'm going to screenshot this video and I'm just going to see what happens when I highlight or when I enhance this screenshot. Now, I'm not changing anything. I am just enhancing the brightness, the contrast, all of that. And what I found was absolutely, I am so enraged right now that I don't understand how not one person in a year and a half has found this. Why?
I got you, girl.
And I'm definitely not seeing things. I can't undo.
It's probably the same thing I saw.
So I'm going to explain it. In this picture, you're going to see the full body, obviously, of a person walking. Now, people are saying that doesn't look like Chris Watts. And you're right, it's not. There is Chris Watts in the video, and I do want to mention also he knows there's a camera at Nate's, because at one point he
looks at the
actually
camera.
looks at the camera at Nate's. So he knows. Now this person that's walking out has been picked up by Nate's, and I'll start making little pointers in the actual video so you can, or actual screenshots, so you can see what I'm seeing, because I did show my husband and he's like, I don't know what I'm looking at. But if you look at that video over and over, you start to see what you're looking at. And she has a ponytail, unless there's a male that has a ponytail. It is a female. It is a female. Forget about the jeans. It's a female.
They both were wearing jeans.
Ponytail, and I'm going to outline it here. Now, the one thing that it does look like, and it is hard to see, so I will give you that.
I see what she's looking at.
I think she's wearing sunglasses, because there is a strip across the side of her head that has this like big black spot. So I'm going to replay this a few times for you so you can see the actual video, and then I'm going to blow it up and I'm going to show you what I mean. And I've enhanced it 3 different ways, just 3 different ways to see the effects.
I agree with her.
Types of effects.
I saw the same thing.
So see if you can see it even better. And I'm going to enlarge it. I'm going to show you the 3. I'm going to do a few different things so you can actually see it. Now, at this point, your blood may be boiling, because I know mine sure has been. I can't stop seeing this, and I can't unsee it. So then I got to thinking, wait a minute. If this is a female, and I'm not going to say the name as of yet.
I will.
But if this is a female,
okay.
Technically I don't know exactly who the female is, right? Technically we could say that. But who does Chris know that's very close to him, or close to him, or knows him? And then what I saw, because I reviewed the interview tape.
Because you can also see the purse. You can see that she's wearing Uggs. And Nichol Kessinger's phone pinged in Frederick, Colorado.
And what I saw was a woman with a ponytail.
She sees exactly what I saw.
On her head. How can I undo that?
I'll call you the week after about when your phone.
It's right here.
And I'll get that back to you. And then at that time,
she's literally wearing the murder stuff. The purse, the glasses, the ponytail. It's the exact same thing. She's wearing a jacket over top of it.
If there's anything new, we can talk about it then.
She acts annoyed. She acts pissed off.
Right now.
Have they gotten those discoveries yet?
No. They have some stuff.
It makes you pissed off. I'm pissed off. I think about this every day.
Yeah, I mean, they have to know. Do they know what you said yet? No.
And the posture is the same.
What to do next about this. But I'm hoping as many people see this video as possible right away.
I got you, girl.
So that they can share the heck out of this. So this one little video cannot be deleted. Because I know things happen. I know there's some weird crap that's happening. And I hope maybe I can send this to the Ruseks. Now, speaking of the Ruseks, they were on Dr. Phil, and Sandy even said she feels like there is more to this than meets the eye.
But they want it to be
done. She's very
done.
Close to Shanann. She even knew the morning something was happening. The moment she felt that.
She felt her daughter come to
that's
her.
Her baby. So I don't disagree with her, and now I have proof. And I don't understand how anybody hasn't seen this. Like, it's really upsetting. I've been upset. I've been angry. I've been swearing. I've been, you know what?
I've been crying.
Bottom line is, without all the drama, there's proof now that there's somebody else involved. So
I wish I would have seen this lady's video way ahead of time. I didn't see this until just now. So for her to state the same thing that I've been mentioning, why is nothing being done? Why is nothing being taken from our context, her, myself, the thousands of other YouTubers that are saying the same thing? There was somebody else there. No doubt about it. Who else is going to help Chris but Nichol, because she wants what Shanann had. And to get it, we have to get rid of Shanann and the girls. I agree with this woman wholeheartedly, 100%. She's seen it. I've seen it. We've all seen it. Now we're going to take a look at the man of the human lie detector test. Using what he says to Nichol Kessinger, same thing. That girl is lying through her teeth. She is completely BS. Why is she not even in cuffs? Let's take a look at what he says.
Murdered his wife and children and is currently serving life in prison. Previously, I analyzed his interviews with local news. What we're going to be looking at today is him watching surveillance footage from his neighbor's house. Before we get started, I do want to remind you to like and subscribe if you want to see more
Go give
content
him some love.
just like this. All right, let's go.
Even the neighbor, he's like, there's something going on with Chris. There was another interview. I do apologize for interrupting. They even asked the neighbor if they think that Nichole's involved. They even said the same thing. So
what we're looking at is police body cam footage. Chris Watts obviously standing in front of this police officer, and to the right of the screen is his neighbor showing his surveillance footage.
And he also stated that he's actually texting Nichol as we speak.
Liars like to have props, so looking at his phone is something he'll do in order to keep himself focused.
Which Nichol was doing with her phone, the water bottle, her hair.
Because it's much easier to stay focused looking at a phone than talking directly to a police officer if you have things to hide.
What's out so far? Is this on continually recording?
Yep. Well,
it's not. Is it motion or is it? Okay.
All right, so when the police officer was talking, you'll see Chris Watts looked up at him. Watch his mouth.
Continually.
All right, so licking his lips. Oftentimes we do this when we have a lot of adrenaline coursing through our veins, sometimes from excitement, sometimes from fear. But it's not the only reason we lick our lips. But oftentimes when you catch people doing that, particularly in this kind of context, like when a policeman's starting to talk, you'll recognize that is when the adrenaline is starting to pump.
Yep. Recording.
Yep. Well,
it's not. Is it motion or is it? Okay, so it's motion.
Now look how stiff his posture is. His arms are pretty stiff. Even when he pointed at the TV, his arm looked a little bit uncomfortable. He's just sort of swinging it up. He is very stiff, and we oftentimes do that when we're trying to hide. We've got freeze, flight, and then fight. We've got adrenaline coursing through our veins. We go through those 3 stages. Right now, he's in the freeze stage. Having a policeman standing this close to him is making him want to freeze a little bit. So he is trying to move less. Watch this again.
That look sealed his
now
fate.
Watch this. He was trying not to look at the police officer because I think it probably makes him uncomfortable. And he let out a brief sigh when he looked at the door. He wants to get out of here. And when our body gets into that freeze, flight, fight mode, the flight is very strong. So when he looks at the front door, he really does feel relief wanting to leave the situation. But
which we saw Nichol do at the end of that video that we just watched. She did the exact same crap.
Look how strongly he tries not to look at the police officer.
Look down purposely. Now he's worried.
All right, so now he's starting to get more uncomfortable. Now, if you're laying down and you put your hands behind your head, it's a way of comforting ourselves. We feel comfortable in that situation. If you're standing and doing it, think about it like this. If you do this, it's very hard to breathe through your chest when you put your hands on your head like that. What it forces our body to do, it forces us to breathe with our diaphragm. And when you breathe with your diaphragm, it makes you feel more calm. So sometimes people do this as a way to soothe themselves, to feel calmer. You don't realize you're doing that necessarily. You don't think about it in that sense. But right now, watching these videos, not necessarily knowing everything that's going to be on them, having a police officer standing this close to him, he's getting very uncomfortable. I think there is a lot of adrenaline pumping through his body right now.
When I even watched this myself, I knew that Chris was.
Now, if you'll notice,
the
he's
one that
biting
did
his
it.
lip. We oftentimes do things around the mouth to make ourselves feel calmer. The lips have lots and lots of nerves. So oftentimes when people are lying, if they're starting to feel uncomfortable, they bite on their lip, they chew the inside of their mouth. They do a lot of things around the mouth. Even before you're born, you're touching your mouth. This is an innately human experience and something that most people do. So keep an eye on when people are doing things around their mouth, because it can suggest not necessarily deception, but it suggests discomfort. And in this situation, his discomfort is because of his deception. Watch this again.
And Nicole does that a lot. And she says like a lot.
So as he's looking here, he can't even take both hands off his head because he's so anxious, fantasizing about all the things they might see on this TV right here.
I wish we had 4K quality of these CCTVs.
And look how much heavier he's breathing. Once again, when adrenaline pumps through your veins, your heart beats faster, it uses up more oxygen, so it requires you breathe harder. Right now, I think he's trying really hard to get his breathing under control.
My dude is like freaking out.
What else can I do with this?
My detective just showed up.
All right, so you can see his lips are shrinking away. Oftentimes people do this when they don't want to say something. I talked about how the mouth can make us feel calmer, but shrinking away to this degree is more associated with not wanting to say something. Let's watch this again.
My detective just showed up. So he'll probably want to talk to you. He'd probably, like I said, he might have you call like the bank and see if there's any kind of activity.
Because if there was any sort of action out
I
there,
know his camera's
I
like,
would have got it.
like
Right.
we had issues the other week when people were stealing stuff out of like garages and stuff like that. And
All right, now see, he's trying to guide them away from the evidence. Look how much more animated he is pointing at the door. He's trying to say, don't
Look
focus
over here. Don't look over here.
There's people doing things over here. Let's get out here. In essence, that's what he's trying to do with his body language, is to get them outside and to not focus on this. Watch how animated he is relative to how much animation he showed so far.
other week when people were stealing.
Which Nicole animates a lot, and she talks about random BS stuff that has nothing to do with the questions that are being asked of her from the interrogator. Throws it off, and it makes it look like he is bored or annoyed with what she's saying. He's like, can you get to the point, kind of thing. She was talking about something with her friend that her mom died, and it's like, we're talking about Chris and you. We don't care about your friend's mother that just passed. With the unfortunate passing, that's unfortunate, but this has nothing to do with it.
Stealing stuff out of like garages and stuff like that. And I had parked my truck
I
over
had
here.
to park right here.
Yeah. So someone,
See if
I could
anything
see where someone tried to jimmy with a flathead screwdriver over there, and it was just like, what security system do you have?
He's trying really hard to process all this information and to figure out what all he needs to know and be aware of.
You can see this car starting to drive down the street.
That ain't one.
Oh, look, okay.
See what I'm saying? It picks up all the way down there.
That's cool.
He's next door.
Let me go.
See,
He
once
wants to leave.
Want me to go? He wants to get out of there. He wants everybody to leave. He wants people to ignore what's going on here.
Talking about dispatcher.
All right, and now he's trying to appear calm. He's putting his hands on his hips, trying to show that he is dominant, because that's what we do. We take up more space that makes us feel dominant. So right now, it's a fake sense of calm, a fake sense of confidence. And so he's trying to put his hands on his hips to appear confident.
It'll be code 4.
Because, yeah, we can pick up cars coming this way. I get anything coming this way and making us turn. So, and usually at night I pick up the cars pulling a year trip. So, unless they pulled right here,
Yeah.
but I would have caught her walking out.
All right, and you can see he's trying to calm himself down. He's rubbing on his chest. Once again, he's doing so many things to soothe himself right now. Watch this again.
To calm himself down from freaking out and just be like, okay, I did it.
Diesel. Yeah, I thought nothing.
So many things to soothe himself. Petting the dog,
Sucking
rubbing
his
his
lip
lips
in.
together, moving his hands around. He can't seem to stand still.
Nothing for the rest of the day.
No, that's it.
And then this thing, we talked about this, that pops up as a commercial. It's everything that had happened to the girls. I'll post that link in the description about those ones. But for that to be such a coincidence, it's not a coincidence. But
All right, and if you just saw right there, we call this a tongue jut.
Nothing for the rest of the day.
No, that's it.
Okay. Now, sometimes that may be him wetting his lips. It's also possible that that's a tongue jut. And sometimes we do that when we think we've gotten away with something. So now they're not showing anymore with the cameras. So for this very brief moment, he may think, I got away with it. They didn't show me. There was nothing on there that would be indicative or evidence against me.
he's looking at a baby.
She's pregnant as well.
How far along?
14,
He saw the baby on there and said, yeah, she's pregnant.
15 weeks.
Oil.
And you'll notice, watch his eyes right here.
How far along?
14, 15 weeks.
All right,
turn-
you saw him
looks to
close
the
his eyes.
right.
15 weeks.
She's pregnant as well.
How far along?
14, 15 weeks.
All right, so one thing that people do is we close our eyes and we think about things that we don't like. So the question is, does he not like the idea of that she was pregnant?
Mhm,
That's
he
what
said
I would
that.
hypothesize, but there could be other alternative explanations.
He didn't want another kid.
There he is facing the door again because that's the direction he wants to head.
He seems annoyed,
Her friend said it was
cranky.
low blood sugar.
All right, and he's pulling his prop out again. Now, I don't know if somebody texted him, but once again,
They're
rather
called-
than focusing on this and trying to find the people who have taken her, which obviously we know nobody did, but the idea is that he's not good at faking this and focusing on the things he should focus on. He's just trying to keep himself distracted, probably so he won't look as anxious as he feels. His body is almost physically forcing him to try not to get out of there. He's so desperate he
trying
wants
to
people to
so-
follow him. Because think about this. When we do certain behaviors, we assume other people will follow along. Sometimes we smile because other people will reflect that smile. There's part of him unconsciously that wants to get out of there so badly, he keeps heading for the door.
She dropped her off at 1 in the morning, right?
She's my doorbell said 1:48. She came in.
All right, watch his eyes right here.
1 in the morning, right?
My doorbell said 1:48. She came in.
You can hear it in
All
his
right, you
voice.
see how fast he was blinking? Oftentimes we do that when we start feeling really stressed. So
And
something
Nicole
about
did that
giving
too.
specific evidence, talking about specific things is going to make him feel more stressed because so much is based on him being able to be consistent with his lies. All right, as they're getting into looking at more evidence, you'll see how he just grabbed himself. Now,
He's holding
sometimes
himself.
crossing your arms can just be a way to be comfortable. It's not that unusual that people cross their arms. And what we look for is changes in behavior. So he didn't have his arms crossed, so why is he crossing them now? Now, another thing that's important about how he's crossing his arms, though, is he's kind of gripping his elbows. That tends to be a more tense way to cross your arms than calmly resting your arms on
I
yourself.
do this
looks
'cause
more
I like
he's
to
holding himself
keep myself
rather than
warm.
just gently crossing his arms for comfort. Watch this again.
In the morning.
He's basically bracing himself.
I didn't pick her up going into the house though.
It didn't. And I usually pick him up when he comes walking through here.
Now you see, look at his middle finger. It's gripping onto the back of his tricep.
I pick him up. So it doesn't show her walking into the house.
So he's trying really hard to hold on. And that matters for what we're going to see in just a second. And you obviously see the swaying back and forth.
Or she would have walked by where he just saw.
Now watch this. Now his head nod. Oftentimes we tend to nod in concert with something that's being asked or being said, or if we respond to a question, we nod right away, we shake our head right away. His is delayed because he's calculating, what do I say and do in this situation? This situation is making him extremely nervous. So watch this when his neighbor talks to him versus the head nod.
A shooter walked by, maybe they saw him. They see all these people coming in, they're like, what is going on?
He's doing it as an agreeing.
All right, now that was
They
probably
check-
the most telling thing we've seen so
Yeah.
far. If you noticed him look at his hand, we're going to watch that again. It tells us that the reason he was gripping his tricep or gripping his elbow is because he's trying to stop his hand from shaking because there's so much adrenaline. Watch this. He checks his hand to see if it's shaking.
People coming in, they're like, what is going on?
Man, this guy's good.
So he looks down, not visibly shaking, I presume, put his hand back. I mean, he's aware that he's on body cam right now, so he's probably thinking of a million things. I mean, his lips were tucked away literally while he was talking. He is so anxious right now, and his heart is probably beating so heavily. The idea that he had to look at his hand to see if it was shaking really speaks
I
to
never
the
even
intensity
thought
of what
about that.
feeling.
Headlights, it picks up the headlights.
No, he's doing
My
this.
said that at 5:27, my garage door was left open.
All right, so he just talked about some times that they had. It didn't line up with his, so his comfort level is going up a little bit. He's pulling his phone out, keeping himself distracted.
But that could have been sensor as well. It says it was shut during the day, but I think when Nikki's son, he made
See, once again, he's a lot more animated when facing his arm towards the door.
Which
He is
Nicole was
constantly
very
trying to
animated
get
with her
people out of there.
talking.
try to move the door around, maybe when they were trying to get in the door, in the garage
Right.
door, and it probably broke the laser there. That's because my alarm started going off.
Well, I know he said the front door he tried going in, but he had the lock
Yeah,
up,
that's for
so
the
that
kids,
set
so
it
they don't
off.
get out.
Right.
He's like, can I just go?
Remote on the outside doesn't work anymore. It got wet and the whole radio on the back.
Yeah, that was it.
But, all right. Appreciate your time.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, now he's wanting to get out of there fast.
Thanks.
Hopefully something comes up here.
He's gone.
So it's obviously striking that they're trying to find the people that have his wife and children, and he is just trying to survive the situation. No interest in possibly finding who the culprits are.
Because he
We
knows
know
where
how
they
this
are.
ends. So
So I've literally used what he has mentioned to look at everything. And I've literally watched the interview that she has with her father. I've literally watched the interview where it's just her with this gentleman up here. I can't remember his name. And the resemblance is so uncanny. Like, she checks to make sure she's not shaking. She questions their interview and all that stuff. And it's like, why again is she with a male interviewer when I believe it should be female on female, and like Chris has a male down here at this one, but he's also got a female. This was by the book. Like this one right here, these two, spot on. That's how you do an interrogation. I've been literally watching hours of the first 48. They get so close and personal with the people that they're talking to. If they are an accessory to murder, a secondary murderer, the murderer himself, they are on that person like so hardcore, which they did over here beautifully. They went like face to face with him. They were like looking at his eyes. What the hell did they do here? He's just chilling in the back. Yeah, so do you think you were with Chris or something? Like, and then down here, why the hell is the dad involved? It should be her and the detective. Why is her dad in here? Well, apparently it's Freemason thing. But do you see the ridiculousness of these two interrogations? This one was perfect. They got him within 5 to 6 hours. This took right here days. Within, what was it, 4 or 5 days? They interrogated her from here to then here, and then did another one at a park. Why would you ask questions at a park? I don't get it. I'm still looking at the evidence that we just looked at with the female that we just watched on that channel, which again, I'll post the links in the description for you guys to take a look at their channels. And then this gentleman at Dr. G Explains, beautiful representation on the checking of the hands and his mouth, and then correlating that with Nicole. They're both guilty. Okay? I say it every single time we talk about this case. We need to get Nicole hooked up to a lie detector test, tested properly, or even get Chris to talk about Nichol as being hooked up again to a lie detector test, polygraphic. I mean, hell, they do it on Steve Wilkos for random stuff, baby stuff. Did you cheat on my spouse? Why could we not do it to Nichol? Why did we never get a chance to polygraph Nichol Kessinger? Was it paid? Was it witchcraft? Was it a fluke accident? Did they drop the ball on this and they're like, yeah, we don't think we have anything? I mean, the district attorney said, yep, because Chris confessed, we're not looking into Nichol anymore. Why the hell did they stop? It makes no sense to me. Still, you cannot tell me any good reason why Nichol was not interrogated properly or polygraphed. It just doesn't make sense. So for those that are watching new or just coming in, definitely check out my other videos. We go through a lot of different, vast majority of evidence. We're continuing to look at evidence. The next one we're going to be taking a look at is what had happened with Shanann's office. She was immaculate. She was OCD. She loved to have everything clean, cut, organized. But then after the murders, her office was ransacked. What were they looking for? Why did she not have her purse? We're going to be taking a look at that as well. But comment your guys' thoughts down below. If you have any good reasons of why Nichol Kessinger was not interrogated properly or hooked up to a polygraph test, please comment it down below, but keep it positive. Again, who here believes 100% that Nichol was involved? I'm telling you right now, with every fiber in my body, I have, again, like I said this before, I've been having definitely vivid and weird dreams. Sometimes I see a shadow entity in there, but I'm seeing, I don't know if it's because I'm watching so much of this case, but I'm seeing things that, I don't know, I just can't, like, you know when you have a dream and you can't recall the dream? Like, I remember the dream when it was happening, but then when I'm out in the real world, like I am now talking to you guys, I can't remember it. I remember having the dream, but you can't remember what the dream was about. Does that make sense? But with that being said, please comment your guys' thoughts down below. Let me know if you see the correlation that I'm having. Do you see the difference in the interviews? This one was done completely wrong. This one was done by the book. Am I just blowing steam? Do you guys agree? Let me know in the comments. Hit the like button like that woman said as well. The like button helps out YouTube's algorithm and lets me know, one, that you guys like my video, but then it also lets other people join in and they can also share with their friends, and the ball just keeps rolling, and hopefully one day we'll see that she's going to get looked at. I'm just saying. Again, thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys in the next video. Please take care, be safe, and all the above. And we'll see you guys in the next video. So, keep it real, keep it safe. As always, keep nerding on, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.